You came in at the right time, honestly. It's been one of those days where everything just feels a little off.
Sorry to hear that. Anything happen, or is it more just one of those feelings?
A student told me today that her advice wasn't helping her. She said she's been following everything I suggested, and her speaking still doesn't feel better. That stayed with me.
That's hard to hear, especially when you care about what you do.
It is, and the strange part is, I started questioning myself. Like maybe I don't actually know what works.
Can I ask you something? When she says it doesn't feel better, do you think she means her English isn't improving, or she just doesn't feel confident yet?
That's a good question. I think maybe both. She knows more than she did, but speaking still feels scary to her.
Yeah, I understand that feeling.
Have you been learning English for long?
About a year and a half now, but the last year was different. I started doing things differently, and something shifted.
What do you mean differently?
I stopped waiting for someone to teach me. I started practicing completely on my own, just whenever I had a free moment. Honestly, it changed everything for me.
On your own? What does that actually look like day to day?
A lot of it is just talking to yourself out loud. I know it sounds a bit strange, but when you say something out loud, even alone, your mouth and your brain start working together. You can't just think about a sentence. You have to actually say it.
I tell my students that, but I don't think they really do it.
It feels embarrassing at first. I used to go to the park and just talk quietly while I was walking. I'd describe what I could see: a tree, a dog, the weather, simple things.
And that helped?
More than I expected. After a few weeks, I started noticing things, like I'd reach for a word and it was just there. I didn't have to think as hard.
That moment when the words just come out, that's what every learner is chasing.
Exactly. And I think the reason it started happening was because I gave myself permission to make mistakes. When I was alone, there was nobody to judge me. So I just kept going, even when it sounded bad.
That's actually the hardest part for most people, the fear of sounding wrong in front of someone.
Right. And alone, you don't have that. You can say something wrong, then try it again. Then say it a slightly different way. It's like a private rehearsal that never ends.
Did you use anything specific? Videos, podcasts, anything like that?
A lot of podcasts, yeah. Conversations like this one, actually. Real people talking about real things, not textbook English. And I'd listen to a sentence, then I'd say it again in my head, and then out loud, multiple times, until it felt like mine.
That's more disciplined than most people I know.
It didn't feel like discipline, honestly. It felt like something I wanted to do. Once I stopped treating it like homework and started treating it like a conversation I was having with myself, it stopped feeling hard.
I hadn't thought about it like that. Learning as a conversation with yourself.
And the other thing is, I kept a voice note, just on my phone. Every week, I recorded myself talking for about 2 minutes. No script, just whatever was on my mind. And after a few months, I listened back to the early ones.
What did you hear?
I didn't recognize myself. I mean, I did. It was my voice. But the hesitation was mostly gone. I was connecting sentences. I didn't realize how much I'd picked up until I heard the difference.
That's a powerful thing to do, hearing your own progress.
It stopped me from giving up, honestly. Because when you're in it every day, you can't feel yourself improving. It builds up over time, but you don't see it while it's happening.
You know, my student might need to hear exactly that. She's probably improving and she just can't feel it yet.
Almost certainly. If she's been working at it, the progress is there. She just needs a way to see it or hear it.
I'm going to suggest the voice note idea to her. That's something practical she can do tonight.
It really works. And tell her to say it again in her head before she writes anything down. That gap between hearing and saying is where the real learning happens.
I came in today feeling like I didn't have the answers, and now I'm sitting here taking notes from a customer.
You're the one who asked the right questions.
You're further along than you think, you know that.
That's what the voice notes told me.
I think I need to start one of those myself.
For English?
For confidence.